It's time for Growing Hope, the show determined to grow up hearts open to pursue the extraordinary. Because you are extraordinary! And now, it's your host, Catherine Lang.
Hello there. Welcome to Growing Hope. I am Catherine Lang, your voice of encouragement, face of encouragement, Hope Smith extraordinaire, because we need more hope in our lives. We need to seed hope to infuse our journey with bold possibilities. And this has been one of my favorite weeks because we've been talking about how to keep on dreaming. I'm a huge proponent of daring to dream and to dream big and to dream impossible, because that's how we stretch ourselves into the extraordinary. When we dream, we see beyond what the limits have told us is there. And when we see beyond the limits, then we can move past those limits. So we have been daring to dream in order to live out our unique design. Each and every one of us is designed on purpose and for a purpose. When we choose to walk out that purpose, we live bold, intentional lives. When we're living bold, intentional lives, then we change the world. I was sharing just earlier today that I have the whiteboard of world domination, and some people really, really love the idea of the whiteboard of world domination. Some people are like, but I don't want to dominate the world. And I argued that, yes, you do want to dominate the world. Excuse me. You do want to dominate. You do want world domination. You want your world domination, because your world domination means that you're living your best life. You are walking out what you were designed to do in purpose and on purpose with intentional steps. And when you have world domination for your world, then you change the world. That's what we're doing. We're living our unique design. We're taking flight and daring to dream big. So today our focus is on how we have to learn to see the unseen. Create a vision board. Write a story about your best day. Practice mindful meditation. Record your affirmations and fake it until you make it. I know some people aren't a fan, but I'll explain. Because when we are limited by what is there, then we can never take the step to the extraordinary. If you only go as far as you can see, you don't go very far. If you only plot right now we live in a place where we can see a fair distance from our location, but it's still very limited. It's still just within our county, within our state, within our country. In order to be able to travel the world and take a message of hope to the world, I have to dare to see beyond just what my eyes can see. I have to dare to imagine beyond the vision. The physical vision limits us to the physical realm. The physical vision can tether us to the limits of the world. But when we see beyond that, when we dare to dream beyond the physical sight, that's when we start creating incredible opportunities. That's when we start living bold possibilities. That is when we walk out our uniqueness into the world. That's when we have world domination. And world domination isn't a bad thing, because, again, it's not about me dominating the world. It's about me dominating my world, living my best life. And my best life starts with love God, and then it goes to love others. And through those two processes, I am living out my design. So it's all about you. The first thing that we need to start doing in order to get to this place where we have a habit of seeing the unseen is create a vision board. This is an awesome time for arts and crafts. If you have friends that still have magazines, remember those magazines? You can cut out the pictures and you can actually do a glue and paste party where you're putting images of what your best life looks like, what your journey looks like. For me, it's going to be in front of groups, in front of organizations, in front of a microphone, in front of a camera, which I would never have suspected of me if you had asked me even 10 years ago. 20 years ago, definitely not. When I was in school, not a possibility. Cameras and me are just not real good friends. I can feel a camera's presence within a mile and I can figure out how to hide from it. So I had to break that habit when I realized that part of my draw, part of my calling, part of my heart, part of the zing that is in my heart, part of my heart seat is to speak to as many people as possible, and a camera is required for that. But creating a vision board is just taking images that you want to see come to life in your life and putting them on a board. You can do it on Canva. Canva would be online. You could use Canva to create your vision board. Or I still like the idea of a paste and glue party. Invite your friends over and talk about this vision board. Talk about what it is that zings your heart. Talk about what your best life will look like and feel like and taste like. And the more you do this, the more it becomes not just something in your imagination, but you begin to craft your best life, the steps that you're going to take to get there. So this vision board is just a tool to help you envision beyond the limits of vision. Remember, we're going past the physical vision. We are learning to see the unseen, and the unseen are your possibilities. We're learning to see our possibilities before we live our possibilities. The second thing that will help you get to that place where you can see the unseen is to write a story. Really go into detail about what your best day ever would look like. Keep in mind that the focus needs to be on being a benefit and a blessing and a help and support to others. If it is all about you, you will get burned out. If it is all about money, you will get burned out. When we are all about people and relationships, that's when we continue to fuel the fire. So what does it look like? What is your perfect day? And write it in story form. Tell it to a friend. Write it out in a letter form to your best friend and tell them everything that you're doing, everything that you're seeing, everything that you're hearing, as many adjectives as you can get into it, or action verbs. Be very descriptive so that your mind begins to actually see what it is that you want to be doing. The not just the what's right in front of you, but the surrounding sounds and the surrounding images, so that you're bringing it to life. When you write it out in story form, you bring to life your possibilities, and they become real and tangible to you because you've written them out. You can see them. You can tell others about them. And the more that you can see them and the more tangible they become, the easier it is for you to walk it out. The easier it is for you to make a plan to break down that big image into bite-sized pieces, to the little bits that are going to take you closer to that place. So we're writing a story that tells your heart that what is limited is not what's possible, that your possibilities move way beyond any limitations that other people have told you about, or even that you yourself set. The more that you tell your story, the more you move away the barriers, especially the ones you set for yourself, like me with the camera. You begin to move away all those barriers and you clear a path for walking out your best life. The third thing that will help you learn to see the unseen is to practice mindful meditation. You need to set aside time every day, if possible. It doesn't have to be long time, just needs to be time. You set aside time every day to think about what it is that you're doing. Visualize what it is that you're doing this week, this month, this year. What are your big dream goals? How does it look like it? How does each step, how do you take each step? The more that you can envision the truth, the easier it becomes to walk it out. When I was diving and off the springboard, I would sit there after I had learned to dive, before I went to a competition or before I got up on the board, and I would go through the dive in my head over and over again. Every step I was going to take, I would close my eyes, mindful meditation. I would walk through the process of the dive. I would feel myself taking the flight and doing the trick that I was going to do off the board. This mindful meditation becomes your reality. The more that you practice it, the more that you do it in your mind, the more you're training yourself to do it. Now, you're going to have to take intentional action steps in order to bring it to life. But this mindful meditation sets a firm foundation for you to take flight, for you to perform what it is, the trick that you're going to be doing, for you to live your uniqueness with bold purpose. Mindful meditation is about getting to a quiet place where you can see, envision, and live out your big dream goals. So set a time at night to just mindfully meditate on your big dream goals. Just a couple of minutes, walk through maybe your story that you wrote, and or maybe look at your vision board and then close your eyes and think about, how am I going to get there? Imagine yourself walking through that day, walking through that vision board, and allow that to begin to train your mind to think down the lines of your possibilities. The fourth thing that will help you learn to see the unseen is to record your affirmations. You can write them down. You can make them auto recordings so that you can listen to them. But remember to practice hearing and reading what you're seeing. One of the things I like to do is take my vision board or my story and write out I am statements. I am is two of the most powerful words when you put them together. Scripturally, I am is the only name God gave himself. He said, I am. So when you put I am behind your mindful meditation images, then you are creating God-infused power for what you're doing, which is why it's so important to keep your focus on God and then others, because that's the process. When we love God with all our heart, soul, and mind, then we're walking out bold intention in him for our lives. And it is he that planted in us that heart seed that says, this is what you and only you can do. You are the only person that can live your design. And the reason you're the only person that can live your design is because you're the only you. If there were 100 people that could live your design, there would be no need for you. But you're it. You're the only one. And when you know it and you embrace it, then you can walk it out. So this recording these I am statements, I am the voice of encouragement. I am the mindful meditator. I am. What is it that you are trying to do? Where is it that you want to go? What is it that's on your vision board? What is it that zings your heart? And then create affirmation statements that remind you. When I was teaching ballroom dancing many years ago, I've mentioned this before, the manager would get us together and he would say, we would chant, I am happy, I am healthy, I am terrific. And we do this 3 times. And what happened is that I am happy, healthy, and terrific would become our mindset because we were saying that over and over again. Your affirmations, your recording those affirmations help it become ingrained in who you are so that it is who you are. The fifth thing to learn to see the unseen is to fake it until you make it. And what do I mean by this? Well, let's go back to our affirmations. Believe your affirmations until you're living your affirmations. It's not pretending to be something that you aren't. It is embracing what you're becoming. You're practicing living your best life until you are living your best life. Actors would never say they're faking it. They are taking on the character of who they are portraying. Well, that's what we're doing when we fake it until we make it. We are portraying our best lives until we're living our best lives. When I first started writing, I was attending a writer's conference, and the keynote speaker said, say that let's all say this together. I am a writer. And so I said, I am a writer, but I still didn't really believe it. Even though I wrote for a local paper, I had articles printed in national magazines, I still didn't feel like I am a writer, mainly because the people around me told me until you have a traditional publishing contract, you are not an author, right? And to me, an author and a writer were synonymous. So I had to start saying, I am a writer. I am a writer. I am a writer. And the more I said it, the more I believed it and the more I walked it out. But I had to fake being a writer until I was a writer. And I was giving presentations to groups about how to become a writer. But I didn't really believe I was a writer. I had to fake it until I got to the place where I truly believed it. I am a writer. I am an author. I am a hope smith. And I am. But I had to keep saying it and keep taking on that character until I was living that character. And the more I got around people that encouraged me to be my unique self, the bolder I got in being who I am. That character is me. And I began to embrace that character. When you are learning to see the unseen, you are learning to become the character of you. Not the you that other people told you you had to be, not the you that your mind has limited you to, but the unique, bold, intentional, amazing you that you were crafted to be at the beginning of time. That's what you're doing as you are living this life of dreaming big and daring to be more than the limitations and the tethers that try to hold you down. You are becoming the character of you. And I highly, highly encourage you to do whatever it takes. Create a vision board, write a story, mindful meditation, record affirmations, fake it until you make it. Whatever it takes for you to get to the place where you are you. 100% unapologetically bold, purposeful, and intentional in that design. You. And when you do, you will discover that the path becomes crystal clear because it's your path. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Growing Hope. I dare you to dream big. I dare you to dream impossible. I dare you to live your best life by understanding your unique design and walking it out. If you're struggling, let's connect. Let's talk. Just head over to KatherineLang.com. There's a button there. Schedule a free call today. And let's talk about what you see for your life and then how to get you there. Because this is your journey. It's up to you. But I'm here to encourage you to get there. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, this is yours. It's up to you. What are you going to do today to live your best life? Whatever it is, make sure that you are being blessed and that you're finding ways to be a blessing.
Thank you for joining us for Growing Hope with Katherine Lang, where we are sharing hope, encouragement, and inspiration to do more. Visit www.catherinelang.com to invite Catherine to be part of your event or to share your own stories of possibility living. Until next time, remember that a seed of hope planted and nurtured will grow up into a world of possibilities.